Hi, I'm Bill Mosley, and you're in the horror basement. Lick my plate, you dog bitch.
I'm Lonnie. Welcome to the Subterranean Room of Spookiness. To you from Volunteer State Spooky Media Headquarters in the Subterranean Room of my mother's mobile home. And as always, we have our local spookyologist people here with us. Midge Match.
Here.
We have our resident overinformed spookologist here with us, Midge Match.
Here.
And Sasquatch.
How?
And we are serving up a southern delicacy that is known as a breakfast bread and a roux mixed with a cream-based liquid all over this land. And on today's podcast, we will be discussing the group, the Tennessee Horror News group that went to a death breed that used to be known in Tennessee Horror News premiere and Urban Legends. And the movie of the week is Candyman. And I don't know about y'all, but that Sabrina show's really good.
Wow.
What do y'all think?
I fuck with that Sabrina show.
Apparently she is the sister of Rafe.
But in all honesty, I binge watched the next Netflix Sabrina, whatever. I don't know what the series is called. Just what is it called? What is this? What is it? Anyways, but yeah, I watched it, and this part 2 was really good. Just throwing that out there. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
And
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
yes, fucking awesome show. Awesome, but
Never seen it.
also just a reminder, Mother's Day's coming up, guys, and ladies. So you go over to Macabre Mounts on Etsy and pick up a For the Love of Horror candle. It's not one of them cheap ass candles. It actually will make your whole house smell like pumpkin.
Campfire.
Yeah, pumpkin campfire.
And it makes noises.
And it crackles, and it'll have the whole house smelling like a festive holiday.
If you're gonna get your mom a candle for Mother's Day, get her one of these. They're not the $2 ones from Walmart.
Yeah, they
They
smell.
smell great. They look good, especially if your mom's a horror fan. She'll love it.
Dude,
Yeah,
I thought you were about to say whore.
And they're like handmade, and they're like extreme. Like the scent on them is just absurdly. I mean, just overdone. So you're gonna smell it, and also, guys, buy one for your lovely wife and the mother of your children, and buy one for your mom. And then if you just want to, do a seance, it's a black candle. At least your seance will smell good.
Well, if you want to be like me, Yeti, or Johnny's Secret Admirer and buy us one, you can do that too.
And
Johnny can give me his.
or just go to her, at least go to her page and check it out and see what all other stuff she has. So
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff.
Yep. And speaking of good stuff, Death Breed premiere.
Yes.
Them Tennessee Horror News guys, they know how to do it.
Oh yeah.
Well, they did.
Well, I mean, they know how to do the Death Breed stuff, but
Well, I'm just talking about they thought they knew how to do everything.
well,
Apparently, they had some issues.
well, they said it went good. That's what old
I know that guy that used to be named. That guy named JimJam.
yeah, he's no longer. No, I think they had to quit their show because they got bought out by Disney. But
Yeah. The mouse comes and ruins everything.
yeah,
Yeah, and apparently the mouse is taking everything off of Netflix.
Yep.
They're getting their own streaming service.
Yep, that is true.
Something like 40% of all media now belongs to the House of Mouse.
Yeah, that's insane.
So that means, are we going to get the Marvel shows back? Or it's going to be on Disney?
No, they can't do that. There's a 2-year
No, it's,
non-compete.
they're all
There's a
canceled.
2-year non-compete.
Blows.
I'm waiting on a.
So
I'm
no
waiting
one
on
can
Disney
pick it
to buy
up
out
for 2
Blumhouse.
years.
No one can pick it up for 2 years, so therefore, them people that was doing the show, like the best show, Daredevil, they're not going to, 2 years to get all them back together for the same project would just be,
Yeah.
you just had to start over.
So if they canceled the show, why would they make it a no compete if they didn't want it no more?
Because Netflix had the contract, and that way you can't just Disney couldn't just cancel the show and pick it up on their own.
Disney didn't have no say so in the canceling of it.
I know, but Disney couldn't pick it up. I mean, you got to have that. You have to have that contract.
Yeah.
Because Netflix created it.
Well, yeah, I know it's bullshit though that they would do that. They would legit cancel it, but yet not let no one else have it. So if someone else wanted to do it, they could.
But see, that's the thing. They put all the money into it to get it going. So you don't want to put all the money into it, get it going, so somebody else can make the profit off of it.
Well, Disney, as much money as they got, why couldn't they buy the rights from
It
them?
wasn't in the contract.
Well, they should do that.
It's the contract, dude.
I bet Netflix would want a fucking boatload of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
I would.
Well, Netflix couldn't make the money off of it that they needed to because Marvel, it was, I mean, I understand why they did it.
Well, I bet Marvel can now come out with a good Daredevil movie then, couldn't they? Or does Netflix have the rights to the character right now?
No. They could still do a Daredevil movie. It's just they won't do one because of the.
I'm not. Why am I saying? Hold on. Yeah. My bad.
It's Marvel.
I don't know why I was thinking Daredevil was
DC.
Fucking DC. That's Flash.
Yeah. After the monstrosity of the original movie, which I didn't mind them. I thought the original movie was okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not But
which Alexa did you like better, Jennifer Garner's or the one in the show?
I don't think they really showed the one in the show that much. But I mean, the Jennifer Garner movie was okay, but like I said, they didn't know. They didn't really understand how to write a women's superhero movie.
Yeah.
Early 2000 superhero movies wasn't that great.
Well, they didn't. They just couldn't grasp the concept. I don't think. But anyways,
yeah. Isn't it crazy though how Ben Affleck played Daredevil and Batman?
Well, Chris Evans played Torch and Captain America.
That's true. I like that. I like
Ryan Reynolds played, Green Lantern.
That's Marvel, isn't it? Or is that DC?
Marvel, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah.
So the Death Beat premiere.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get.
Hey, damn. Yeah.
Speaking of death, the Death Breed premiere. The independent horror extravaganza with Gunnar Hansen,
Kane Hodder, Lloyd Kaufman,
Tiffany Shepard, Linnea Quigley.
Was Linnea Quigley the horror? I'm thinking that because she definitely, no offense to her, but she definitely makes a good-looking whore or prostitute, whichever it was.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a who's who.
And hey, Ben was able to get boobies in his movies.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck Connery must not be doing something right. If Chuck, you're listening, you need to figure it out, man.
Well, I think Ben was actually paying someone money.
Oh, so I guess money does take clothes off.
Yeah, money takes clothes off. Yeah.
Well, damn, Chuck, man, you need to quit being stingy with your money and get some strippers on your movies.
I had some good-looking boobies on there. But Death Breed, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. The trilogy, or anthology. We did some, or they did some interviews.
It's pretty cool to see Ben when he was younger. Especially like he was a vampire or a werewolf. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to do some interviews and you'll be able to check that out on the YouTube channel.
Hey, hold on. That one scene, was it supposed to look like Ben was chowing on that girl? Because it was like the camera was looking down at her crotch, and then it would just show Ben like this. But, was it supposed to be like he's chewing on her?
I have no clue.
You remember what I'm talking about, Yeti?
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be a werewolf muff dive?
Maybe.
I might have to spin that one day.
Some oral art barking werewolf style.
Would that be a mutt dive?
A mutt dive? Yeti, I'm going to let you borrow all these movies, and I'm sure all that stuff is in those.
Oh yeah.
So the mutt diving.
Yeah, a little mutt diving. That's when your dog licks your pussy, ladies.
Whitney,
What the
Wisconsin.
fuck?
Paging Whitney, Wisconsin.
Back to Death Breed.
I think there'll be a review of the movie up here pretty soon. From what I hear, Yeti's been having a fucking pretty packed couple of weeks, but he's, I've heard that he's eager to get back to writing because not writing makes him go fucking crazy.
I sure hope so. I sure
So
do.
there will be a
I've
Death Breed review soon.
JimJam said that their website views are down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's okay. Yeah, stuff.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully,
But this premiere,
yeah.
God.
It was
Wonderful.
really cool. Like,
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. It was sold out.
sold out. The Tennessee Horror Club was there.
Yep.
Like I didn't really meet anybody too much. I was, just kind of fucking all around and kind of in a hurry. But I saw something really cool. That, it was some of the cats from the Tennessee Horror Club. They had battle vests with like horror movie patches and shit on them. And like a couple of days before that, I was thinking like, I've been a metal guy for a long time, and I was like, you never really wanted to do a vest, but like a horror movie vest would be cool. Then I was like, is that a thing that people do? And then we got to the premiere, and that's totally a thing that
People do jackets, like the blue jean jacket.
Yeah.
But like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Mismatch. There's a THN on the road video up. You can go check out on the YouTube at Tennessee Horror News, and hit that subscribe button, and click on that that bell notification thingy, and that way you get notified when we have our exclusive content and independent horror movie trailers.
Yeah,
That
you
you
can watch
probably
that.
won't see anywhere else. And Lloyd Kaufman interview and
The Lloyd Kaufman interview, the THN on the road with an awesome intro, by the way.
oh yeah, that was funny.
That's the
Oh,
take
we
went,
also were in the works with Ben Dixon and Stacy Dixon to premiere a Nashville premiere of, well, let's say a Tennessee premiere,
Yeah.
High on the Hog with Sid Haig.
and Church.
Yep. Yep.
It's a good film. That's the thing. That's the thing about Ben and Stacy. Like, they're fucking so big on showing, independent films, independent horror movies. It's like they cater to a whole different breed of theater goer, and it's so cool. And they're just rock solid people. And that's why I love that place so much.
There's also something coming up with them TN horror guys and the Dixons. So there's more than one thing to look forward to.
Is there?
Man. Yeah. Well, it's something that you can't talk about. I don't even know why the fuck you bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
way,
it.
way to introduce that you can't talk about. Good for you. So Death Breed, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. We had a good time. The interviews were good. I mean, I didn't rewatch them because I think I could have done better, but I always think I can do better. So,
Yeah.
I did rewatch the intro though, and that was funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Especially Jonny pushing Yeti out of the screen.
Yeah,
What
he didn't know
you
what to
can't see-
think.
What you can't see in the video is me like doubled over, fucking dying laughing.
And that's
Just
why you
outside
should
the
follow
frame.
the social media to see the behind the scene picture of it.
Yeah, there's photos up.
Yeah, so it was a good time. We had a really good time doing all that. Of course, we always do, and the crew come out, Luce and Bridget and
Yeah, it's
Yeti
good
and
to
all
see
his
them.
family. It's good to see everyone. It's always a fun time, especially at the Cineplex. So it's always fun there.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah! How far of a drive is it for y'all?
It's an hour.
Is an hour. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes if we don't make any stops for me. But it's always worth the drive.
It's just a cool place.
Like, it's so fucking cool.
Yeti got a bumper sticker.
I did, man. I got to.
Is it a
I
trauma?
got to interview Lloyd Kaufman, and I got a signature from him. I fucking posted it on my Instagram. It says "To Yeti to God," and fucking which I thought was really cool. I actually just got to bullshit with him for a couple of minutes. I mean, so did anybody else who came out, on the special. But it was just really cool seeing a guy who's so big into independent film, and he's like to me he's one of my heroes. He's such a like the films he makes and the stuff that he does to like enrich independent and underground film is just fucking awesome. So seeing him there and getting a fanboy a little bit and getting a chat with him, that was tops.
Hey, you wanna get your head blowed up a little bit real quick?
Yeah, sure.
When we was leaving Saturday night, he said, "Hey, did y'all get a business card?" And he handed it to me. He's like, "Oh no, that's right. I gave one to Yeti."
Yeah, he remembers you.
Yeah.
I think like one day he come up to me. He's like, "Yeah, I met you so many years ago." Oh yeah, I remember that. It's like,
would you shut the fuck up, man? I was trying to make him feel good, and now.
How's that not making you feel good?
But I didn't get a business card. God damn it.
Oh,
I'm glad you got a business card.
Yeah, well, I'll take a picture of it, and we can share the business card if you want. Yeah,
that's fine.
I'll tear it in half. How about that? I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is, I was like, he can remember people. Like, he remembers people, which is fucking awesome.
I don't think he knows who I am, but he remembers Yeti.
Oh, yeah, he don't know. He has no fucking clue who I am. We did not talk to him and tell him that we beat off to his film, though, either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that. There's that. I don't know.
We're going to like, hey, if you want Lloyd Kaufman to remember you, just tell him you beat off to Toxie.
I didn't even have to tell him. All I had to do was cop to it. You know what I'm saying? It was fine.
That's fuck it out. Sure.
I mean, that scene in Toxic Avenger where he grabs that chick and he fucking like sticks her naked ass on the hot rocks in the sauna. I mean, if you don't get chuffed up over that, I don't know what's wrong.
Well, I think what would be wrong is the Toxic Avengers in that scene. But I mean, I'm not one to diss someone's
the guy
fetish.
that played Toxic Avenger.
They ain't trying to kink shame, but damn.
Yeah, I mean,
I know the guy that played Toxic Avenger, did he die?
I have no clue. But
did the guy who played Toxic Avenger in Part 2 and I think maybe Part 3 passed away last year?
Okay, so the original maybe didn't?
No clue.
No.
No clue.
Do you think that was prosthetic or was he wearing a mask?
I'm pretty sure it was all prosthetic.
Okay, because I guess he wouldn't have been able to move his mouth.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, how when he was the normal kid, he sounded all dweeby, and then he turned into Toxic Avenger, and he sounded all elegant and shit.
Velvety, smooth voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got a deep voice, too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'd like to thank Stacy and Ben once again, and I sucked up to them during the interviews anyway, so it doesn't matter. And speaking,
shouts out to Stacy and Ben. That was a good night they put together.
Speaking of good nights, let's talk about urban legends. Wow, that's nifty. He did the Batman thing there.
Ah,
you're not supposed to talk about it, shit.
Well, he can't hear it.
I can't hear. I'm deprived. Urban legends.
That one was really long. Sorry. Here's mine. I'm going to go with the classic urban legend, and we can discuss this if you think this has ever happened, and you always heard about it in the kidney heist, where the young man or the dude or whatever, they get them an escort and they get back to the hotel and then they're roofied and they wake up in a bathtub full of ice with their kidney removed to be sold on the black market. As a kid, I think I believed that could actually happen to you.
I believe it can actually happen.
I don't think it ever has.
I don't think can you live from that? Can you
live? It's possible that they could you can live
with
only one kidney, but to do it like in a hotel room setting,
yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like, it would be a fucking major surgery. And then they just throw you in a bag of ice and duct tape your wound shut.
Yeah.
Or not a bag of ice, sorry, a bathtub of ice.
Oh yeah, they would put duct tape. They wouldn't even sew it or nothing, would they?
I mean, why would you?
Right.
And then they'd leave a note, right, that says, here's the phone, call 911. Your kidney has been removed. Remember that?
Wonder if them people had all their was like come in there like completely sealed, so there was no evidence.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
But if you had someone like Dexter, he would figure out who it was, and then he would go murder them.
Yeah. So that's
And I've been thinking about Dexter. I want to rewatch that series. I never finished it. I was on the last 2 episodes, and I didn't.
Watched a couple episodes. And wasn't that his sister that he worked with, the detective?
Well, stepsister,
I think they
or not really stepsister, like adoptive. Like he was adopted, I think. Right? Wasn't he adopted?
But I think in real life they're like they was dating or married.
I don't know about that. No, I don't think so.
I've never even watched it.
Really?
I've seen some episodes.
Oh, dude, it's a good show. Until you get to the
Oh
last.
yeah, I've heard a lot of good shit.
Until you
about
get
it,
to the
at
last season, and then I didn't finish it because I didn't want it to end shittily.
Shittily?
Shittily.
Is that a new word?
I don't know. I guess so.
Like,
I'm making it a word. It's a word today.
least. Yep.
It's a word today. Yeah. You should go watch that because yeah, shittily.
It's on
That's
Netflix,
a new word.
isn't it?
shittily. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it
made
used
a
to
new
be.
word up, Amy. Shittily.
Shittily.
Shittily diddly.
But yeah, I was thinking about that today though, and I was thinking about rewatching it. The only thing is when you watch it, his lips stick together too much, and it's kind of annoying.
How did you? What?
When he opened his mouth, his lips stick together.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
Like he's got like chronic cotton mouth.
Yeah, and it's really
Chronic
fucking
cotton
annoying,
mouth.
dude. It's like I was watching this. Sorry, I'm getting off subject here, but I was watching this rehab home show, but it was in Nashville. There's one in Nashville, and the dude when he talked, he always moved his fucking eyebrows, and he was like, "Yeah," and then we go. And he's always moving his fucking eyebrows. And then I told my brother about it. And he's like, dude, why'd you tell me that shit? I can't stop looking at his fucking eyebrows. It's so annoying. Like, what if I talk like this? Hey, Jimmy, what are you doing?
Oh my god.
And it's just like, gosh, so annoying. Like, when you pick up on something.
I got one for y'all. It's a little different. It's not as well known as the kidney eyes. I've actually got a couple. One's gonna be real quick, but I'm from Oklahoma. And we got shit tons of urban legends and local folklore and stuff. It was for a long time. It was outlaw country. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It was mostly Indian land. So we got something like 1 billion tribes with nations in Oklahoma. So I mean, it's rich with storytelling and lore and stuff. But
Yeah.
and that the tradition continues. We got big lakes, not like the Great Lakes or anything. We got a shit ton of lakes in Oklahoma, and they're all man-made. But 3 of them are really big for tourism and places like that. It's Lake Thunderbird.
Why are you laughing at that? Hold on. Why is that funny?
I just thought about the car. That's all.
I was thinking of a bird of thunder, but
That's a car. Go ahead.
actually I started thinking of Roadrunner when you said Thunderbird. I don't know why.
Okay, go ahead.
Mimi.
Quit interrupting him, man. Hey,
Lake Thunderbird, Lake Ulaga, and Lake Tenkiller.
Tenkiller?
Big, yeah. They're all big for tourism, swimming, boating, just any kind of stuff. You know
is
what I'm
there
saying?
critters in it?
And there's
Fish.
been, even though they're calm waters that are pretty regulated, Park Services are always around. There's been since the early 2010s, there's been a steep increase in drowning deaths. And what some people have attributed this to is not just one, because it's 3 different lakes, but several giant freshwater octopuses.
Giant freshwater octopuses. Is this real?
Tens of millions of years ago, that part of the U.S. was a shallow sea before the ocean receded and the land came out. It was all shallow sea. So, I mean, there could have at one time been big ass octopuses in the water, but time and lakes and whatnot, whatever. Anyway, that's a fucked up way to justify it. But apparently, some people believe that there's giant octopuses living at the bottom of these lakes, and they're grabbing swimmers, pulling them down.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
That's why I don't swim. I don't. Maybe that's what I'm always afraid of.
I mean, you never know, man.
The underwater eight-legged freak.
And it's all kid piss, and you go swim in the lake, and you get eaten by an octopus. So I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really.
Wow, that is pretty fucking. Yep, I'm definitely not going swimming in the lake no more.
Yeah, no, sir, no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to go to take a shower now.
So we also got where I grew up. I'm from LaFleur County, originally Eastern Oklahoma, and our local claim to fame was Kavanaugh Hill. It's officially a mountain, but they call it the world's tallest hill. They fudged some of the numbers a little bit to say it's like 1,999 feet tall. It's 2,000 feet are cut off from it. So they fudge it a little bit. Because, I mean, world's most mediocre mountain does not bring in tourism, but world's tallest hill might. And it's all forest land. I mean, there's about halfway up at one point there was a coal mining community there. And there's some real nice houses. That's kind of where the more rich people will build big houses up there because you got the view and everything. But there's a lot of just forest land out there that if you know the right people, you can go up and hunt. And it's always somebody's cousin knows somebody who knows a guy. That's how the urban legend always starts. My cousin's friend knows this guy, and they're always out coon hunting or poaching at night, and they'd stumble upon this clearing, and in the clearing would be a bonfire with hooded figures around it. And one of my favorite versions of the story is they sacrifice a baby, and out of the flames comes a slightly taller hooded man who everywhere he steps on the grass he leaves burned footprints with their cloven hooves. And they summon Satan on top of Kavanaugh Hill and sacrifice babies and eat people and whatnot. That's the mind of people around there. It's like I've heard the story probably.
That would be pretty fucking shitty to be walking through the woods and run up on that shit.
Yeah, it would.
Or does that mean you're gonna get sacrificed because you saw that shit?
I mean, maybe.
Or would they just be like, you need to turn around and act like you've never seen this? I don't think they would be that forgiving. I think they would.
I don't think they would. I mean, if they were sacrificing babies and summoning Satan, I figured they'd kind of not be chill.
Yeah, they'd be like, ooh, he would like this.
I'd have to throw my hands up and be like, whoa, I'm on your side.
Is this where the meeting was, y'all?
We just ain't met yet. I'm from the internet. It's fine.
Try to play it off. But yeah, that would be no good to walk up on that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Guess what? I would never come across that. You know why?
Why?
Because my big ass ain't walking through woods.
Well, I ain't walking up no fucking 1,999 foot fucking hill.
Yeah, fuck
I
that.
thought Oklahoma was flat. Why y'all got hills?
Part.
Why they got hills for, man?
Is there Sasquatches up there?
Yeah, there's Sasquatches in Oklahoma.
On the hill? I'm talking about on that hill.
I don't know
That's
about
probably
on
where
the
they
hill,
have
but
sex
in that
at.
region.
Or does the
probably have sex
Satanist
on the
folks kill the Sasquatches?
Maybe they summoned Satan in order to protect themselves from Sasquatch.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, maybe that's why Sasquatch don't come around them people. Fuck that. The devil's around them.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sasquatch, Florida has the skunk ape, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
The skunk ape is like the Florida man version of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
The Florida man.
Yeah, skunk ape.
He's just
It's really
eating
appropriate for
crocodile.
Florida.
Hey, you think Florida man ever summoned Bloody Mary?
Probably. That's probably why he's the Florida man.
Well, apparently, did y'all ever used to do this?
Oh, yeah.
Urban legend is a churban.
That was like, yeah, a child's tale. Go in the bathroom. What did you say? Did you have to spin around?
I don't remember
Or did you
that.
close your eyes?
Sometimes I've heard it a couple of different ways. Spin around, or just turn off all the lights and
Turn
light
off.
a candle.
Yeah, you
I
stand
think
in
I
front of a mirror,
remember.
turn off all
I
the
think I
lights.
remember you turn off all the lights.
And then when you turn them back on, you're supposed to have someone come show up
Some-
behind you.
And apparently, I always heard that after you said the name, it was only 3 times.
Yeah,
from what
that's
I
what I-
remember. And then when you turn the light on, she'll be in the mirror and she would scratch your face or some shit.
Okay, so maybe we was wrong because didn't you read something that said 13 times?
Yes, this Wikipedia thing said something about you had to do it 13 times or chant her name 13 times.
13
Could you
times.
imagine
Who the
how
fuck's going to say it 13 times?
Be over like Bloody Mary, blah, 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 and you're like, shit, I fucking messed up. And
You
have to
lose
read
count and you got
I
to
said
start
Mary
over, and then
Bloody,
halfway through
fuck.
it, she shows up because she's counting the originals. You know?
And then,
Yeah, but what if you had Bloody Mark on accident and then fucking Mark shows up and you're like, fucking Mark.
Fuck.
God.
I think this is where it might have come.
No one wants to be
from
around
what
a
I
Mark.
understand, this is where it come from. Historically, the ritual encouraged young women to walk up a flight of stairs backwards, holding a candle and a hand mirror. In a darkened house, as they gazed into the mirror, they were supposed to be able to catch a view of their future husband's face. Catch a view. Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if they didn't fall the fuck down and burn themselves alive, then I guess they would be married eventually.
Then there was, however, a chance that they could see a skull or the face of the Grim Reaper instead, indicating they were going to die before they got a chance to get married.
I had no clue that was
Yeah.
that is real. But who's fucking walking upstairs with the candle on backwards? The
So-
fucking mirror. Like you're fucking driving. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But it says in the
what
ritual,
fuck?
in the ritual today, Bloody Mary allegedly appears to individuals or groups who
Would you hold the candle behind you?
ritualistically invoke her name in the act of, what was that word, Johnny? Cato.
Mirror magic.
Yeah, there. This is
Yeah.
done by repeating,
Catoptrics
chanting her
or
name
commas.
into a mirror placed in dimly lit or candlelit room. In some traditions, the name must be repeated
Hold on.
13 times.
Did you say a candle with a mirror in it in a dimly lit room? You know what that
Yeah.
means? Psychomantium. The motherfuckers could see ghosts.
They were doing.
They were motherfuckers was actually seeing shit.
Go back and check out our episode about that.
Psychomantium. Dude, fuck that. You don't fuck around with that stuff. You can invite some bad
sir.
motherfuckers in your house.
So
And
yeah,
they might have been inviting bad motherfuckers in their house. They didn't even know it.
Like that, yeah.
Didn't even know.
But they were looking straight into the mirror. You're supposed to have the mirror put
Isn't it-
into the void. The black void. Like,
into another mirror though. Or
no.
something?
You have it above you. You can't see in it.
So you're just kind of looking out of your peripheral almost.
You're looking. You can't see in the mirror. Like the mirror can't see you or some shit. We'd have to go back.
So
and
you're
do-
sitting underneath it almost.
Yeah, it's like out of eyesight.
But
Or
you look
something.
up
It was
at
weird.
it. But you're looking up at it though.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's kind of like using it as a speaker.
It's just a
box.
portal.
Yeah.
Like they said the person comes, you see them 3D like there,
Okay. Yeah.
touching you and shit. Fuck that.
The Bloody Mary apparition allegedly appears as a corpse, witch, or ghost. Can be friendly or evil, and sometimes seen covered in blood. Lore surrounding the ritual states that participants may endure apparent screaming, cursing them, strangling them, stealing their soul, drinking their blood, or scratching their eyes out.
Yeah.
Some variations of ritual call Bloody Mary by a different name, Hail Mary, or Mary Worth, or popular examples. And there's also looks like there's
You know what though?
a Japanese version.
Hey, Bloody Mary sounds like a real bitch.
Why is she so
Uh,
angry?
Cause
Actually, the
No,
name
it's-
Bloody Mary comes from, if I'm not mistaken, which I mean I'm good at being wrong.
typhoid
uh,
Mary.
Bloody Mary, Mary the Queen of Scots.
Mary
She
the
was
Queen
either
of
a
Scots.
Protestant queen or a Catholic queen.
Yeah, that's what it says here. Legendary figures
Conflicted.
conflation with the English Queen Mary Also known as Bloody Mary, whose life was marked by a number of miscarriages or false pregnancies. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was
She
doing
also-
good until y'all started saying something. And I started fucking up reading.
She also, I think she, if she was, I can't remember if she was Catholic or Protestant, but whichever one she was, she killed a whole fuck ton of the other one. Like, had them all put to death.
Yeah.
Oh, then she's probably Catholic.
Hey, as we're recording this, speaking of religious stuff, the Notre Dame Cathedral burnt down today.
Burzum European Tour 2019.
Yeah, that's a sad thing that it caught on fire and.
Apparently, it caught on fire because they were remodeling inside and something happened.
I don't know.
Angry spirits of all those abused children.
Or
Maybe it's fucked up.
What about the Hunchback? Maybe it was the ghost of the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
I don't think that's something you want to joke around about. But
is that an urban legend? The Hunchback?
no, that's a fucking show. That's a movie. That's a book. That's a book.
That's
I
folklore.
think it was a novel.
Yeah, that was a novel, a book.
That too.
Okay, speaking of Bloody Mary, let's get into the movie of the week.
This is the movie of the week. Movie of the week.
Have you ever heard of Candyman? If you look in the mirror, you say his name 5 times.
In cities everywhere,
Candyman.
they whisper his name.
Right. Candyman.
It's just a story.
Candyman.
Candyman.
Just a ghost story.
Candyman.
An entire community starts attributing the daily horrors of their lives to a mythical figure.
The legend first appeared in 1890. He was attacked, mutilated, and burned to death. Poor Candyman.
Helen, a woman died in there. Leave it.
Everyone knows he isn't real.
That's modern oral folklore.
Everyone. Except Helen Lyle.
Bring it up.
It ain't safe around here.
I don't scare too easy.
Wanna know about Ruthie Jean? They ain't never gonna catch him.
Who?
Candyman.
Who is that?
I came for you.
Do I know you?
Now she is about to discover
Helen? Get out! Get out!
what's behind the mystery.
I'm sick.
What's behind the legend.
Listen, he's under the bed!
And most terrifying of all,
Come with me.
what's behind the mirror.
He's here.
Candyman, you don't have to believe. Just beware.
Candyman.
Hey, y'all, guess what?
It's not Ice Cream Man. It was released September 11th, 1992. And this film, starring Virginia Madsen, Tony Todd, Sandra Berkeley, Cassie Lemons, and Vanessa A. Williams, and lots of other people. Directed by Bernard Rose and produced by Steve Golan and some other people, but yeah.
Screenplay by Clive Barker.
Yeah, well, it's by Bernard Rose, but it's based on The Forbidden by Clive Barker. Okay. That's what Wikipedia is saying.
Before we get into this, can I do the Candyman facts?
Why don't we do the facts as we get into the movie?
Well,
as we go through it.
Before this one will go okay first. Yeah. Eddie Murphy was considered to play.
That would have been fucking horrible.
Yeah.
That would have been bad.
That would have been so fucking bad. I mean,
maybe he could have pulled it off, but like I'm trying to think of a serious character that he played in the early 90s.
Vampire in Brooklyn. No, that wasn't.
I mean, Coming to America, he was sort of serious, but he wasn't. No, Trading Places. Was he in that?
Yeah.
Trading Places. That was a good movie. That's a freaking awesome movie. Yeah, the old guys. I don't know. Scream Queen and Halloween.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Was she in that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
She was the hooker.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, that was a really good movie. So, I mean, he might have been it, but Tony Todd seems like he's a lot taller for some reason than Eddie Murphy.
Tony Todd's like a more imposing figure.
Yeah, there you go. He was awfully, thin back then, though.
Yeah. But he's still, like, tall, and his facial structure is so brooding. Like, I mean, seeing him on social media and seeing how much of, like, a positive dude he is really throws me off. Because his face just, like, I don't know. I'm not like saying he's, hideously deformed or anything. He just, his eyes and his fucking brow line just looks so intense.
Oh, yeah. He got that deep voice, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
so...
he's a real sweet guy, apparently.
So this is Helen Lyle, a Chicago graduate student who is researching urban legends. Here's about the local urban legend of Candyman. She's making a thesis. They open up, and her friend are doing this thesis. They're in graduate school. And they look too old to be in graduate school, but what do I know? And but she's like uppity. She has her husband's a professor. Like, I didn't understand why she was still in school, to be honest. But that's me. I don't know.
What did you say earlier? She was too school for cool, or what was it she said?
free tuition. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, well, I didn't, I don't know. But anyways. But the legend claims...
I think that just kind of shows that her husband has a thing for banging students.
Yeah, true. There you go. That is fucking 100% correct. The legend claims that Candyman can be summoned by saying his name 5 times while facing a mirror, whereupon he will kill the summoner with a hook jammed on the bloody stump of his right arm. So, she's in this school. She does this research, right? Like, she's doing the urban legends, and they overhear, and this woman was like, well, Ruthie Jean got killed, at the local projects, and Cabrini Green Housing Project. And the 2 cleaning ladies come in and tell her, so her and her friend, did y'all pick up on, like, they kind of tell a story where, about the, I don't know, how, the rich people live compared to the people in the projects.
Yeah.
Because she's like, they're in her apartment complex, and she was like, you see this, and you see this? Well, this is where I live, and this is built exactly like the, the Cabrini Green whatever projects. And it has the same layout. And they only built it that way because they couldn't put anything between the projects and the good side of town. Like the L train blocked. You know what I'm saying? They had a divider. So it kind of touched on the social economics of that time, which is still the case now. Nothing's changed.
Later on, they do it. There's several instances of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is.
Social commentary, like, what?
Oh, I was 100% agree, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like later on, like when, it's really on the nose, too. When she gets attacked by the...
Fake Candyman.
Like, the pimp.
Yeah.
Basically, he fucking he attacks her in Cabrini Green, and she fucking goes to the cops, and they go arrest him. And it's like he had been fucking shit up in that housing project for a long time. They had a bunch of evidence on him, you know what I'm saying? But nobody would come forward because it's projects and couldn't nobody protect them. But it was like, a white person had never been attacked there before, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Well, it's kind of the way they put it.
What the comment was is, and here's the comment was, well, it's a shame that it took a white person getting attacked for him to get arrested because he's killed 3 people.
Exactly.
Well, he hadn't killed 3 people.
It was a Candyman.
Candyman, but he was acting like Candyman.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, you know what? The police officers thought, well, no one's ever come forward to testify against him.
Yeah.
Well, so it was kind of like the movie, but they do touch on the social, things and that kind of stuff in it, which I thought was, kind of cool for that time. And it's still the same case now, though.
Yeah.
Those issues still exist.
Really stratified.
Oh, I don't see how, like, them women couldn't have went there in today's Chicago.
No, they couldn't have went. I don't believe from everything I've heard. Like my old lady grew up around Chicago, and from what I've heard, when Cabrini Green was popping back in the '90s, they couldn't have went there at all.
Yeah, and the place that they went into was just like, God, I couldn't imagine living in a place like that. But so her and her friend go to that Cabrini Green, and her friend don't want to go, and she's like, "You told me to wear like business casual or whatever, and we look like cops. And they're all gonna think that we're cops." And they get there and they ask them if they're cops.
Because they look like cops.
And I think that was the goal, though, is to look like a cop so they'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. And they get up there in that room, you know, where the woman, Ruthie Jean, had died. And they climb through this fucking medicine cabinet. And everything looked extremely fucking dirty. And yet the woman lays her friend's jacket on the fucking tub and she sits on it. Like, that's fucked up.
Dick.
Yeah, what a bitch. But, yeah. She finds a thing of candy, and it has a razor blade in it. What was that about?
Sweet.
What was that?
It's like an altar.
No, I'm saying, but the candy, she finds the bag of candy, and she picks up a piece of chocolate and it had a razor blade in it.
Is that probably going for the trick-or-treat thing?
It must have been.
Yeah, I think that was just
like a plant.
Yeah.
Like the other Candyman dude had a plant.
Maybe.
But, so they leave there, and, but before, didn't she summon him before that? Yeah. When she went through, when they looked through her place, she said it 5 times, but the other girl didn't. Her friend didn't. So he starts coming after her.
And for some reason, instead of coming out and killing her, he was like, you're going to be my new tool, you know?
Well, it tells why he didn't kill her if you at the end of it.
Oh yeah.
Did she remind him?
It was always you, Helen. It was always you. Be my victim.
Yeah.
So the Candyman, he lives off of the gossip and the fear and the urban legend that he is. He pulls that energy off of the
he like feeds on
the folklore.
Yeah, he feeds on the what, Yeti?
On the belief of the people.
Yeah, what they believe. And
it's like his fear makes him strong. Their fear makes him stronger.
And she finds out that the Candyman is actually his father was a slave, and he moved up to Chicago, and he invented a machine that could make shoes faster. And he become rich, and he went to schools, and he was an artist. And a person hired him to capture the virginity of his daughter. Well, he fell in love with his daughter. Did. Oh, yeah, he captured that virginity, all right. She ended up pregnant. So they chased him down. They cut off his painting hand, and they shoved a hook on it.
That's what I don't understand about that. Why did they show a hook?
I guess for the pain. Like, just cut it off with a rusty hacksaw and then jab a hook into it. It's probably just something laying around. I take it. And then they covered him in honey, and he got stung to death, and then they burnt his body.
Okay, are they trying to say that the honey attracted the bees?
Yeah, well, they like took honeycombs and like rubbed the honey. It's like a actuary. Is that what it's called? I could be totally wrong on that. Whatever.
It's a place with bees in it.
Yeah, and they rubbed the honey all over so that they would sting him to death.
Okay. So it's just
that'd be a horrible death.
I don't think if you just got regular honey and rubbed it on somebody, the bees aren't going to come to you because of that. There's probably something else on that hive that they
they ripped the hive apart and rubbed it all over. Okay. So there must have been some sort of.
Here's this asshole who tore up our house.
Yeah, and they stung the living shit out of him. And speaking of the bees,
we got facts about some bees here from the movie.
Yeah, this is where
these bees used in this movie were only 12 hours old because.
Anywhere 24 hours or more, they develop stingers or something like that.
And Tony Todd actually got $1,000 bonus every time he got stung, and he got stung 23 times.
23 grand just from that.
Yeah, hey, come on, sting me, motherfucker.
And the movie had like a $6 million budget.
That's probably why it had such a big budget because.
I don't even know. Was that a big budget? Well, see, that says $30 million, but
that's why it was $30 million because they had to pay him so much.
On IMDb, it said $6 million, and on that it says 30.
Maybe that's what they made or something.
They made like 25 to 30 million.
That's probably what that is then.
Yeah.
But he also, when you see the bees coming out of his mouth, he had to wear a dental dam so they wouldn't go down his throat.
That right there, now that was freaky. Could you imagine having bees in your mouth?
Didn't he go into like it looked like he's gonna make out with her and
yeah.
Whew. But and there that woman, what's her name? Virginia
Madsen.
She
Helen.
is allergic to bees, so they anytime that she was in a scene with the bees, they would have to have an ambulance on set.
That's wild. So
I'm thinking they probably limit her exposure to bees quite a bit.
Yeah, probably. So Candyman, he starts fucking with her, and I don't know. He takes control of her. Because she made friends with that one woman that lived in the apartment complex. And I don't know. It was just weird from then on.
It was weird. There's a lot of off-screen death.
It was crazy, though, how when he would come around, she would get all disoriented and...
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't show anything. Like you said, it was off-screen. They would show after he killed him.
The other two, I think, are a little more...
Do you think they was going for the audience having to think about how he killed him, or?
I mean, you could see with the gut. What the fucked up thing was is I was watching it and she's over by the car and he comes in the parking garage and he's like, "Be my victim," blah 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 blah. And,
blah blah blah, innocent blood, yada yada yada.
Yeah, and then she wakes up in the fucking apartment complex. And she's looking at her stomach, and there ain't nothing. And then she goes out, and a fucking dog's head's just laying on the floor. And it was such an obvious fake.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, I understand. It's 1992. Whatever. But you could, I don't know. You could somehow imply that the dog had been, because it looked like a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool, but, and don't get me wrong, I'd like to have it. Maybe not that one, just like a severed head dog. Severed head of a dog. Just because the prop looked really cool. I mean, it'd be really cool in like a haunted house, but fully lit up on a set.
Not so much.
Yeah, you probably show, but that's nitpicking.
Yeah.
And then
I tell you, speaking of nitpicky stuff, there's one thing that I never really get into with movies that I noticed about Candyman was the score. I really dug the score on this movie. Like especially the opening where you got the aerial shot of Green and the voiceover from Tony Todd and that synthesizer fucking orchestral intro music. That was so good.
And I was thinking about that, like you brought up the intro and I meant to bring that up. Like, all that stuff was shot with a helicopter back then.
Yeah.
Like, straight up fucking helicopter. The amount of money they'd have to spend on just flying a helicopter around.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me, it's
all those aerial shots were always fucking expensive.
And now anyone can get aerial shots. It's insane.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so... And then she ends up, cutting chick with a cleaver, and she goes to the insane... Or, no, she gets arrested, right?
Yeah, she gets arrested, and she ends up in a...
And she gets out, and then somehow her friend comes to her house, and then her friend gets murdered because she comes inside by the Candyman, and she's gutted from fucking her cooch all the way up to her damn chest. Ain't she?
You think that's where...
That's where he started.
Damien got the inspiration?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, I doubt it.
But yeah, so... And then she gets blamed for that because she has a little butcher knife in her fucking hand. Like, you couldn't do blood tests.
That's going to take more than a butcher knife, ain't it?
That's what I was thinking. Like, the gash was huge.
Because he comes in from the back.
Huge.
It just tears upward. And it's a different kind of wound when you tear flesh as opposed to cutting it.
It wasn't a knife either. It was his hook, right?
Yeah, and that's what I didn't understand. Like, is his hook sharp?
Can we do some fucking police work here?
Yeah,
I
like,
realize
could you
it's
not
Chicago
test the
PD, but
fucking blood
goddamn.
that's on her because it's her blood because he cut her,
Yeah.
and the blood in her hands her blood, and like,
Well, and then his stump is bloody still, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we'll pull some. Do ghosts have DNA?
I mean, they got penises, so.
I mean,
Sorry, I couldn't help
Does
myself.
ghosts have sperm?
Do ghosts have DNA?
Obviously they can, because that one woman got pregnant. Remember?
Or she's going to.
oh yeah.
She's
Ghosts
going
do
to.
have DNA.
Yeah, so
Breast
they have
cancer.
to have DNA by her saying that. But yeah, so that happens, and then she goes to the insane asylum, and then he comes back, and if she would have stayed, she would have been exonerated. Instead, she climbs out the window because she kills the doctor. He kills the doctor, but all she had to do was just sit there in the chair, and how could she have killed the doctor that way?
Right, she's strapped down and shit.
Yeah, like I just didn't get it, and all the other stuff happens, and I don't know. She ends up saving the baby.
Yeah.
I don't see, like, as a 38-year-old man, this movie was not scary. Maybe as an 11-year-old or 10-year-old or whatever child, it might have been scary.
Oh, it was, because me and my brother and sister had to watch it on mute.
Yeah, so, I mean, but people really love this movie, and they call it a classic, and
there's also 2 sequels to this movie.
yeah, from 95 and 99. I don't know. I didn't watch it as a kid. And this is the first time I've ever sat down and watched the whole thing from beginning to end. Like, I've seen parts of the movie. Like, after watching it, I've noticed, like, oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And the whole movie is very depressing feeling, ain't it? I think that's what they want, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's all gloomy and
the ghost. He's, the way.
I
that
guess
he was
it's shot
killed.
in the winter too, ain't it?
Yeah, like she was standing on that fucking one bridge. I bet it was cold as fuck.
Fuck that.
But Yeti, you said you watched this as a kid, right?
Yeah. I remember it being awesome.
And how did it translate as an adult?
It was alright. You know what I'm saying? Personally, like before, I was kind of iffy about the remake that's coming up. I don't think we can talk about this without talking about the
remake. Yeah,
I thought I saw it was not. It's not a remake. It was a sequel.
It's almost like like it's
but how you
30
go to a
years
sequel
later,
and then you got a Candyman, someone else playing Candyman. So how is it a sequel?
Candyman?
It's like a spiritual sequel.
Who's playing Candyman?
So it's I don't know.
I can't remember the dude's name, but it ain't Tony Todd.
Yeah, sure ain't.
But damn, you could have been 30, whatever, how many ever years later, and done a legitimate with Tony Todd. But I guess he's not supposed to age.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I guess you really couldn't.
I don't know. Beforehand, I was kind of like, with the upcoming film, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But kind of like Pet Sematary, I don't really like this enough to be upset about a new movie with the same name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm not, and I think it'll be scarier. I think the new film will be scarier.
Isn't Jordan Peele doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in touch.
Well, I don't know who's directing it, but I don't remember who's directing it. But Jordan Peele's Monkey's Paw Productions is behind it. So
yeah,
his mind will go
movies getting remade. I'm just to the point now where let people do it. If they want to do it, what's the point in getting pissed off about it?
Yeah,
Unless you wanted to go remake the fucking Goonies. I don't see, but otherwise,
yeah.
Which I still wouldn't get pissed off about it, but I just there's no point.
Yeah, I have no energy. But if I really like a film and they do a remake and it's not good, I will shit on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Viciously.
But yeah, so Candyman, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, it's worth watching. It's like a time capsule.
Yeah, you need to watch it.
Yeah,
I finally did. It only took me 30 years.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, guys, we appreciate y'all listening, and don't forget to go to that YouTube channel and Tennessee Horror News. And on next week's episode, we will be talking horror news, horror trivia, and movie of the week, Digging Up the Marrow.
Hell yeah.
JimJam's thought about that.
It's a show, because it's an awesome movie. It's got my buddy in it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we appreciate y'all listening.
That's all we got, y'all. We out.
Peace.
Stay spooky. Be an asshole if you want to. I'm probably not your dad.
Your dad.